Hello. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the IOI Ocean Governance course for giving me an opportunity to be able to share with you a little bit of an understanding and my experience when it comes to the UN Ocean Decade in the African continent. My name is Frank Mirobo, and I work as the Secretary General for the Western Indian Ocean Area Career Scientist Network, which is under WIO-ECSN, but also I work as an assistant lecturer at the University of Dodoma in Tanzania. I was lucky enough to be a part of an IOI South Africa Ocean Governance course back in 2022, and I'm sure you guys, you have been learning a lot. The course is very beautiful. It is really incredible, and I will definitely recommend more people to come and take this course. This course has impacted me with so many skills on what it is currently happening when it comes to the world of ocean governance. So I will not really take much of your time. Apologies, I will not be able to attend in person, but I have managed to produce to you this short video that just share a little bit of my experience when it comes for the UN Ocean Decade in the African continent. So my presentation today, it will be focusing on the African youth engagement when it comes for the implementation of the UN Ocean Decade in our continent. As part of the implementation strategy, just to go back to a little bit of the introduction about what our network is all about. So the Western Indian Ocean Area Career Scientist Network is under the wings of the Western Indian Ocean Marine Association, WIO-ECSN. Under WIO-ECSN, we have three kind of network. The old ones, there are two, that is WIO-ECSN, the Western Indian Ocean Area Career Scientist Network, which it is a youth network under WIO-ECSN. But also we have WIMS, Women in Marine Sciences. Both they were formulated back in 2017 at the 12th days at the 10th WIO-ECSN symposium. And recently we formulated the WIO-MPAN, the Western Indian Ocean Marine Protected Area Network, in 2021. So our network, basically, its mission and vision, it aims to bring together area career marine scientists to strengthen their capacity, but also to promote marine science in the Western Indian region. We are currently operating in 10 countries that are both under the Western Indian Ocean, and our network started with 71 members, but up to date, we have more than 2,000 followers within and outside of our network. Our network mainly targets the human skills capacity development that involve training, research crews, making sure that the youth they are also being capacitated when it comes for working beyond the coastal zone. So this tends to take us to different kind of opportunity where we provide to the area career researchers from our region to be able to work within the deep sea as well science, and being able to explore what is happening when it comes to the marine sciences. We are also dealing with outreach. We tend to reach out to different groups of area career researchers from their respective areas, and we tend to bring them together to be able to network, learn, gain opportunities, and also to improve their skills as well. and we have managed to gain more of a vision to these youth champions when it comes to the field of marine sciences. So we have been able to work with them, try to provide a platform whereby these youth, they can be able to share what they are currently doing. They can be able to network. They can be able to build each other when it comes to different challenges which we are currently facing as the region. And taking into account, we have been working right now under the 10 years of the UN Ocean Decade. Our youth, as one of the lead youth network in the continent, we have managed to be able to also engage the youth engagement or the youth voices when it comes to the table for decision making when within these 10 years of the Ocean Decade. So to start with, I'm sure you have had a very beautiful presentation from Dr. Oku, our former president, about what is the Ocean Decade, what it's focused on, and how the Ocean Decade in Africa is looking forward to be. So I will not really spend much time to explain what is all about the Ocean Decade, as you had the presentation with Dr. Oku before. So I will direct go to the point whereby the youth engagement, the youth factor when it comes for the UN Ocean Decade in Africa. So our network, under the theme of the science we need for the ocean we want, back in 2020, we were acknowledged as one of the vibrant and the most active youth-led initiative in our continent. And taking into account, we have tried to capacitate the skills and the knowledges of youth when it comes for the coastal and marine sciences. We were lucky enough to be featured under the Global Ocean Science Report as one of the major change maker network when it comes for the youth engagement in the aspect of the ocean science. Taking into account, this led us also to be also involved in the regional dialogues when it comes for the establishment of the UN Ocean Decade in an African perspective. So we also participated in a pre-regional workshop that was hosted in Nairobi. That was aiming to set out a foundation whereby the youth inclusion in Africa when it comes for the implementation and the operation of the UN Ocean Decade in Africa. So we participated as one of the key stakeholders to the preliminary phase of the UN Ocean Decade. And later on, we participated in an official launch in Cairo, whereby we kick off the UN Ocean Decade in Africa. So we had a number of side events trying to discuss and reach consensus that the youth also, they are supposed to be involved in this agenda of the UN Ocean Decade, taking into account our continent has more than 85%, the average birth, we have more youth, and taking into account the youth, they are change makers, they need to be included in these kind of dialogues and decision making. So going forward, since the conference in 2021, our network took an initiation of, first and foremost, under the wings of the IOC UNESCO, we managed to be able to summarize the 10 ocean decade challenges in an African perspective. So under the IOC UNESCO Africa, we summarized the 10 UN Ocean Decade challenges identified by the UN General Assembly, and we were able to summarize them in an African perspective, taking into account our continent is facing a tremendous kind of an impact when it comes to the climate change, the ocean changes. So we managed to summarize those 10 ocean decade challenges in an African perspective. So this document, which we launched last year at the 12th WIO-ECSN Symposium, it sets out a ground and a foundation on how, as an African continent, we can be able to beat or to be able to really go into real action of making sure that by 2030, we have a clean and resilient oceans in Africa. So we summarized those 10 challenges in a very simple language, which even a primary school student can be able to read and understand what we are currently facing as an African continent when it comes to the ocean sciences. This document was officially launched at the 12th WIO-ECSN Symposium with the greater effort of this number of youth here. These were some of the authors that were featured in that document. And together with our members from the WIO-ECSN and ECOPS Africa, we managed to summarize those 10 chapters in an African perspective, but also later on to be able also to be engaged with setting out a roadmap on how the African continent can be able to attain the clean and resilient ocean. So later on, we also incorporated our thoughts in the African roadmap on how we can be able to go about in solving these challenges in our continent. The two documents, they were launched, if you will see here from my slide here, they were launched here. And luckily enough, that was not the only initiative that we have done. Going forward, we are looking forward together with the Youth UNESCO Climate Action, UCAN, and the Western Indian Ocean Area Career Scientist Network. We are currently working on having a series of booklets that will tend to feature the youth who are currently working to implement the real action down there in Africa. They will be featured in this booklet to make sure that Africa as the continent, we are also providing a room to showcase what it is the role of youth when it comes to the implementation, the real action in having a clean and resilient ocean by 2030. So currently we are in partnership with UCAN, but also we are also reaching out to other partners. We are looking forward to reach out to ECOP Africa, Sustainable Ocean Alliance, Hub in Africa, making sure that we work together to produce this series of booklets that are going to be based on the pictorial kind of booklet that will feature the real action. And also later on, we are looking forward to also establish a storytelling kind of a series that will feature youth who are taking also real action on making sure that we have a clean and resilient ocean in our African continent. Furthermore, we are looking forward to have an ocean hackathon that will bring together the great mind youth across Africa to sit together, to innovate, to co-design the ocean, and making sure that the agreement which we are going to come up with, it will be implementable throughout our continent and set out a clear picture that youth, we are not supposed to be in the menu, but rather we are supposed to be in the table of decision making when it comes to the UN Ocean Decade. So we are looking forward to attain these 3 activities going forward in 2023-2024. So these calls will be officially launched during the COP28 in Dubai in November this year. Under the Ocean Pavilion, we are going to have a special session whereby it will be co-hosted between UCAN and WIO-ECSN with other partners as well. We are looking forward to launch these calls whereby we will send out a call that will tend to reach out to all youth across the continent who are willing to contribute to this series of a pictorial kind of a booklet, just to address or to showcase what they are currently working to address those Ocean Decade challenges. So most of these calls will go out under our social platforms, and we are also going to advertise them in different kind of youth-led associations, networks that are able to work with us to make sure that we carry out this program. So this is where all of you are coming in, looking forward that to be able to work together, we need a cooperation. We have so many people here. We had authors from Nigeria, Cameroon, we had people from Ghana, we had people from South Africa, we had people from Namibia, we had people from Tanzania, Kenya, Somalia, Madagascar. And all this kind of a collective effort, it will be the one that will take us through having a clean and resilient ocean by 2030. That's where I was given this kind of an opportunity to be able just to share with you how other youth, they are also really eager to bring changes to our continent as Africa. Taking into account you have taken this course, the Ocean Governance course, it will set us going back home. You can be able now to share and be able to get really engaged to this kind of a movement of the UN Ocean Decade, making sure that you are not left behind, but you are also on board. You have heard this, go home, share with the rest of your co-workers, your friends, your family, making sure that we all work together to be able to impact our continent positively. So I'm looking forward to receive any kind of a question, any kind of question at the moment you have on how you can be able to get engaged, on how you can be able to impact and move forward within this 10 years of the UN Ocean Decade. We do not intend to leave anyone behind. We are eager to make sure that everybody is included in the table. So I would like to express my deepest gratitude for the host to be able to host me and giving me this opportunity to be able to present to you today on how different kind of a group of youth that are basically coming from Africa, they have been also working very hard to be able to bring changes under these 10 years of the Ocean Decade. So we are currently we have spent already 2 years, and now we are almost remained with 7 to 6 years. So let us work together. So if you have questions, queries, I can now take questions. And the 2 documents which we have launched, I have shared with Christia. The link, you can just go through it, read it. If you have questions, I'll be able to take the questions. My email is on this PowerPoint presentation, and I'm looking forward to have youth engagement across the Africa. I was lucky enough to be appointed with an IOC UNESCO as the co-lead of this Ocean Decade booklet. So let us work together to be able to impact our continent. That's all from me, and I wish you guys all the best and enjoy the course, and we can chat in our social platforms, emails, and be able to work together to bring changes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Judy, for this opportunity. Much appreciated. And I'm truly sorry I wasn't able to attend in person or to be able to share with you my thoughts. But this video, I hope it will help a lot. I'll be able now to take questions. Thank you so much.